Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Yes, yes, yes. I'm back. I am back. And I'm thanking God for this beautiful morning with a little overcast, but it's okay. It's okay. It's going to be okay. And it's going to be all right. I thank God for grace and mercy. I thank God for one more time doing it. One more time, allowing me to be in the midst of the living. And as I go about my morning, thanking God and giving God the praise and the glory, trying to get myself together because I have a early morning doctor's appointment to get blood drawn. And I pray that when they check my blood for whatever they checking my blood for, Lord, um, if it's your will, I ask that all is well within my soul. All is well within my soul. Good morning, Shanice. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is a beautiful day. This is the start of a beautiful day, and this is going to be the start of a beautiful week because I'm walking through the day with expectations and I'm walking through the week with expectations. I know mountains will come and the storm will rage. However, long as I'm walking and God got me in his hand, I'm gonna be all right. Everything gonna be all right. Everything gonna be all right. And I'm gonna believe that. I'm gonna continue to believe that. And yes, I have been gone for a little minute. I have been gone for a minute because I needed some redirection and some guidance. And I lost motivation. Um I let things not people, it was just me. And I had to realize you have to call things as they are, not what you want, not what you think they are. You have to call them exactly what it is. Good morning, Shanice. Good morning, Mimi. I thank you ladies for being here. Good morning to the four people that's just watching or just listening. Good morning to you as well. you know um a lot has been going on since the last time we were together, but I thank God for the going on. I thank him for his grace because that was something that he did not have to give me. And I thank him for his mercy. I thank him for not giving me what I deserve. So I just thank God this morning. And I thank God, that I'm back. Like I said, a lot has been going on here. A lot of people that I have known, a lot of people that I know passed away. There's a situation with my aunt, and it's just a lot of stuff that's going on. But I thank God for being who he is and doing what he said that he will do, and showing me that because it looks a certain way, that don't mean it's not over. People can say something, the doctor can say something, a lawyer can say something, a judge can say something, but it's not over until God says it's over. It's not over until God says it's over and done. So I am living proof that when God got something for you to do, you may walk through the fire, but it ain't gonna burn you. And when you come out, you will not be smelling like smoke. You will not be smelling like smoke. So I thank God for the going through. I thank God for the going through. I thank God for being in the midst of, and I thank God for the coming out. Because as surely as you're walking through it, you're not walking alone. God is there with you. And if God bring it to you, He's going to walk you through it. So there's nothing to be afraid of. You might get weary. You might get tired. You might want to give up. But just hang on, just like that old Negro spiritual. Hang on just a little while longer, because everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. And I'm telling you, a lot's been going on. My daughter, she finally, she started school, and she's in the nursing program to get her RN. Jordan is preparing to leave in a couple of more weeks. And um, God just been good. God just has been good, because where where I didn't see a way, but God, God is the way, and the way has already been made. And sometimes you're trying to uplift other people, and you can't even uplift yourself sometimes. And and that's the way I was, and I wasn't gonna be on here. I wasn't going to be on here being fake and phony, and whatever God had me to go through, I had to go through it. And it was a reason why I had to go through it. Now, what the reason was, soon and very soon and by, I'm going to find out what that reason was. I ain't going to pester God about it, because when God get ready for me to know what it was, he is going to eliminate my soul with it. And then when he illuminates my soul with it, then I got to tell somebody about it, because he didn't do it just for me to just keep it all to myself. Then so it's got to be, I got to tell somebody about what God has done, is doing, and is getting ready to do, not only for me, not only for me. I pray more so for my children than I pray for myself. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'll be right back. Whew, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Ooh, oh my God. Yes. Mm, thank you, God. Mm, mm, mm. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And good morning to everybody. There's a new name that I never seen before, and I'm not good with pronunciation. So I'm gonna say Samika. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but charge it to my head and not my heart, because I'm not good in pronouncing names. But I'm glad you're here this morning, and I thank you for joining. Um, Lots been going on, y'all. For the ones who know, they know Jordan is getting ready to leave to go to college. She went to orientation a couple of last month. She went to orientation, and she met her roommate. She chose her roommate. They got the room that she got the room that she wanted. She got the roommate that she wanted. So that's a blessing. That is a blessing. That's a blessing. And I'm gonna tell you something. And if it's anybody out there that think they can't do it, trust me. Trust me. You can do all things through Christ Jesus that strengthens you. You can do the impossible. Because you know why you can do the impossible? Because God said you can do. You can do what God say you can do, and you can be exactly who God says that you can be. And I'm a living witness. I have been watching my daughter. I have been watching my daughter work her behind off. I only have one child. She had one child. My granddaughter, father, deceased, got killed. Jordan is 18 years old, so he's been dead all Jordan life. Her father has been dead. Her father got shot on the day that Jordan turned the morning that Jordan turned 3 months old. Her father got shot early that morning. And he passed away. So Jordan has not physically ever seen her father. However, her mom, and I can remember the night when one of her friends had knocked on the door and told her about what was going on. And she just sat out on the front porch. And I felt so helpless as a mom. That was one of the times I felt so helpless and did not know what to do, didn't know how to do what I didn't know what to do anything about. And she sat on the porch that night and she cried. She said, Mama, what I'm going to do? What am I going? I got this baby. What am I going to do? And my daughter had was entering her sophomore year in college. She was in college, sophomore year, got pregnant while she was home for summer break, and just decided she didn't want to go to school no more, and um, had a summer thing with a guy and got pregnant and went back to college, was going to do her thing. And, you know, and I'm going to tell you, when God have a plan, when God have a design plan for your life, there's nothing that you can do to mess it up. You may put it in pause for a little minute, and it may take you a little longer to get where it is that God will have you to be. And you may go, stray a little bit, but when God got something for you, there's not a demon in hell that can stop it. Your husband, your children, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your nephew, your niece, your aunt, your uncle, nobody can stop that. And Jordan was supposed to be here because my daughter said, I went to get an AB. And she said, but Mama, when I heard a heartbeat, I just couldn't do it. And she said, I didn't know how to tell you. And she didn't tell me. Everybody knew it before I knew it. And the Sunday I went to church and went to brunch after church, and I get a phone call and she cried, Mama, I'm so sorry. Girl, what's wrong with you? You pregnant? And she said, yeah. And I said, look, I don't know what we're going to do. All I know, we're going to take care of that baby. That's all I know we're going to do. But Ma, how girl, we gonna do it. God done brought us this far, and that baby was not put in you for no reason. For no reason. And it may have been a struggle to take care of Jordan. I don't know if it was a struggle because it didn't seem as if it was a struggle. It was something that we supposed to have done, and it was something that we had to do. Who else was going to do it? And I can guarantee you, the in Jordan 18 years, I have bought her clothes, I have bought her things, but I tell you, I bought Jordan one pack of Pampers. One pack of Pampers. And when you feel like you can't go on, I don't even know why I'm saying this morning, because this was not what I wanted to talk about this morning. But I just feel like it's maybe somebody who listened and somebody who may listen to this may feel like what I'm doing. Why am I doing it? Am I doing it in vain? I don't see no progress. I just don't see nothing happening. Let me tell you something. The moment you don't see nothing happen, that's the moment God doing everything. God is working behind the scenes. He's getting everything orchestrated. He's putting everything into place. And it may seem like things are all discombobulated. You may feel like you're all out of sorts and everything this morning. Don't worry about it. Don't panic. Don't panic. Don't panic. That just means that God is up to something. Don't resist it. Don't fight against it. Don't be complaining. If you're complaining, stop complaining because God got it all under control. God has got it all under control. You have to make a conscious decision. I will not fold under pressure because you know what? Pressure creates things. Pressure create diamonds. Pressure create what's in you, and God know what's in you. And sometimes we be so under so much pressure, and I've heard people say, I work best when I'm under pressure. I don't like to be under pressure working, but sometimes you just be under pressure working, and you all you're focusing on is just doing what it is that you got to do. And then when you done did it, you sit back and like, oh man, sometimes we put ourselves through things that we don't necessarily have to go through. And after Jordan was born, Verena was still, her spirits was still kind of low and stuff like that because her and the guy, they wasn't no, she just made up in her mind, you help me get this baby, you're gonna help me take care of this baby. And they were going backwards and forward. And And she wasn't working. Mama, what am I going to do? Don't worry about what you're going to do until you're able to go out physically to look for a job. That girl waited 3 weeks. She had to have a cesarean. She waited 3 weeks. I bought Jordan. She had a baby shower. She got all this stuff. Then the Pampers start, getting low. Didn't have to buy Pampers for a little minute. Then one Friday I called. I said, "Well, I'm going to Win Dixie. The baby need anything? Do you need Pampers?" And she started crying. She said, "Mom, she need Pampers." I said, "What are you crying for?" She said, "Guys, this is my baby." I said, "I don't, girl, don't start that. Do the baby what the baby need." So I went out and bought a big old box of Pampers. That was when I say that was the last time I bought Jordan Pampers. It's not because I didn't want to. It's because her mama said, "You know what? It's my baby. I got to take care of my baby. And whatever my mama do for my baby, she's doing it because she want to, not because she have to." And Verena got up and they had a place in the mall called Glamour Shots. And she did the hair and makeup of the people who come in to take the pictures. So the lady who owned Glamour Shots saw how Verena was just working. She said, "V, you just had a baby and you're working?" And she said, "Look, that's it. I just had a baby and I need to work." So the lady just kept watching her. And one day she said, "V," she said, "I got a friend that works over to high tech." She said, "I want you to go and talk to her." She said, "Because I don't this right here, this not you. This not you." She said, "I watch how you are with the customers when they come in, how you so mannerable and how you just talk to them and make them feel at ease." She said, "I want you to go and talk to this lady over at High Tech Central." Verena always wanted to be a nurse. She always wanted to be a nurse. So she went over and she talked to the lady. She was head of the nursing department. So the lady she said, "Well, V, she told me all about you. You had a baby and, you was going to school for nursing." She said, "Do you still want to be a nurse?" So they had their conversation. She said, "Well, here, take this test and we'll see where you are." So she took the test. She really said, "Well, I want to be a nurse." She said, "But I want to start out first as a CNA." She said, "I want to learn everything that there is to know about CNA nursing and then move on up to where I want to be." So the lady gave her the test and she said, "Well, V, you passed the test that you can start our LPN program." She said, "No, I'll do the CNA first and then I'll do the LPN class after that." So she going to school, trying to take care of baby. And I said, "You know what? Look, go to school. This gonna work. This gonna work." And I have seen my daughter not only go to school and work and take care of her child. Now I'm looking at the both of them now. This girl is getting ready to leave to go to college out of the state. Out of state. She's going to college out of state. When I tell you everything that a child could need for a dorm, she has it. Clark already have refrigerators and microwaves in the room for them. So she had to take that back, get money. But don't never think because of where you are or what you're going through. Don't worry about what it looked like. Every morning you wake up is a chance. God is giving you a chance to do it over, to get it right, or to keep it moving. You may be doing something right. Don't feel like there's no progress, but trust and believe there is some progress. There is some movement. As long as you don't give up, God ain't gonna never stop. God is never going to stop. God is never going to stop. And Jordan leaving to go to school, she's getting ready to start her life. 3 weeks ago, two and a half, maybe 3 weeks ago, Verena started school to get her RN. And I thank you for that, Miss Mimi. Verena is going back to school to get her RN. And she was saying, that makes three of us, not channel wise, but business wise. I need to commit and do what's necessary. Amen. Me too, sis. I feel the same way about my channel. Just wasn't doing my channel, but I'm going to get back in the saddle soon enough. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. You know what? I was listening to this lady. I had saw just a clip of it, of her speaking. I think it was on either TikTok or a short. And her name, and I wrote the lady name down yesterday because I was trying to take notes, and I was lit. Her name is Rita. What is it? Rita. Oh my God, where did I write the lady name down? Because I'm always taking notes on something about something. And whenever I see something that's good, I always write it down. And her name was Rita. What was her last name? Rita something, Evangelist Rita. But if you Google it, you'll find it. And I'm gonna tell you that lady was talking yesterday because I didn't go to church yesterday. I didn't feel it wasn't that I didn't feel like it. I just did not want to go. I made up in my mind that I wasn't going to go to church yesterday. And I just had a me day yesterday. And I came across a little clip where this lady was where she was speaking, and I went back to find that clip, to find that later. Her first name is Rita, and if you, I wrote it down somewhere. I don't know what I wrote it on, but I wrote it down somewhere, and I was listening to her, and oh my God, this lady said, she said when she first started out, she didn't start out as a preacher. She started out, she said, I committed my life to God. And if I had to stand in front of two people, she said, I first started out with 10, then it was my purpose. She said, my purpose. When you pray and ask God for something, believe that God is going to give you what it is that you ask for. God is not a God that we have microwave mentality. And when we want something, we want it right away. But if it's for you, and that's what you really say God had, that's your purpose, then you will walk in your purpose. You'll walk in your purpose. Your purpose will hit you in your face sometimes. You will walk right into your purpose. Whatever your purpose is, you'll walk right into it. And this lady was saying, she was just doing little Bible studies, and just speaking. And then she had got a call from Bishop Jakes. This is a while back. She said, I got a call from Bishop Jakes, and he asked me to MC. And I mean, y'all go. Please, 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 please look this lady up. Her name is Evangelist Rita. I don't, I think it's Ewing or something like that, but I'm pretty sure I know the first part was Rita. And I was listening to this lady, and this I was so mesmerized by what this lady was saying, and it was just touching my spirit about what this lady was saying. And I had a phone call, I believe it was Friday, and that wasn't the first phone call that I have received from people. The phone call was just letting me know that I changed my number and I miss you, and we went into a little things, and I had my aunt. I was telling her, I think it was back in May, and probably would have been maybe longer than that. I don't know, but the doctor had gave my aunt 6 months to live. So, and I just found out about it. I think in May. I had just found out about it in May. So, and that just bring back memories because this month is the month of my cousin passing, and she passed a week before her birthday, and that every time that come around, it just be kind of fresh to me and stuff like that because I was there watching life leave her. And when I just took a moment just to go home to just take a bath, and because I had been in Fort Lauderdale a day and a half, to see her, to get her back in the hospital, make sure she's settled and she's all right, and the family could get there. And Linda, I'm being the person that, everybody is reaching out to. And when I asked her, I said, "Do you need me to come?" And she said, "Yes, I need you to be here with me." And I went and sat beside her bed and we talked. And I watched her move around and I watched her get up and go to the bathroom. And I'm saying to myself, how could she be dying? How could the doctor say she's not going to make it past the weekend? And she's walking and she's talking and we're laughing and she's worried about me. Are you hungry? Are you tired? Are you cold? Are you comfortable? And I'm at the hospital. How comfortable can you be in a hospital chair? And to see her doctors and the nurses that she worked with and who was a part of her journey come in with tears in their eyes and apologizing because there wasn't anything else that they can do, and hear her tell her doctor and tell the nurses, "I'm sorry for the things that I've said and I'm sorry for the way that I behaved." And that touched me so much. And just saying, to see her, and then to walk out in the hall just to get myself together a little bit. Then I hear the nurse say, because her room is right across from the nursing station, and to hear the nurse say, "Well, doctor, her blood pressure is getting very low and it's getting lower. If it gets any lower, do you want us to call? Do you want to receive a call?" He said no. He said because she's gonna be lucky if she pass it. If she make it through the weekend, that's good. He said, but she's not gonna make it through the weekend. And for some reason I knew that they was talking about my cousin. And my heart just sank, and the doctor walked out and the nurse saw me standing there and I just started crying. And she ran behind the desk and she said, "He didn't know, he didn't see you. And I'm sorry you had to hear that. And if you want, just step in this room, get yourself together before you go back in there." And when I went back in there, that room with my cousin, all they could do was just make her comfortable. And she would turn the monitor towards her so she could see, because she worked in the hospital that she passed away in. She worked in the hospital. The more she turned it around, I'm turning it back so she won't see her blood pressure just slowly, slowly dropping. And she said, "Oh, it's good." I said, "Well, if you be still, just be still for a moment." I said, "The more you move around, your blood pressure is going to go up and down because of the movement." And I'm gonna tell you how God is. That night, that Friday night, in that room, me and her, we talked. She was very uneasy. She would get up, she would go to the bathroom, she would come back, she would try to rest, she would toss and turn, and I would watch her. I would watch her as she watched the monitor. And I would, every night, maybe every hour or so, family members was calling. And it got to a point to where the Wi-Fi in the hospital went down. The hospital could not receive calls. They could not make calls. And if they need another department, X-ray department or whatever department they need, they would have to have somebody to run to the. And Broward General is a big hospital, and they would have to have some. The hospital just shut down. It seemed the phones was out from like maybe 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock that morning. The phones was out. Nobody could receive calls. Nobody could make calls. And I'm trying to call in, to let, my daughter working at night. So I'm trying to call and let her know what's going on. And nobody could receive calls. Nobody could get calls. And that morning, when 8 o'clock that morning, everything just came back on. Everything just came back on. And so when I'm calling, everybody's on their way. Everybody's on their way to Fort Lauderdale. And when everybody got there, she was saying, "Rita, you need to rest." I said, "I'm good. I'm good." So the family's there. We buying food. We're laughing. We're talking. So I said, Debbie, I'm gonna go home, get some clothes, because they were saying, well, we'll be over here every day. We'll just drive backwards and forth. I say, no, I'm not. Y'all don't need to do that. I'm going to be here. I'm just going to go home. I'm get clothes. I'm going to come back. Mind you, the doctor said she wasn't going to make it past the weekend. I wasn't thinking, because God got the last say so. I went home. Everybody said, well, Rita, whenever you get up, that's when we going to leave. So I get up and, call everybody. Okay, now everybody else getting up and they dressed, they ready, so we go. And she said, before she left, she said, Rita, you coming by? I said, I told you I'm gonna be with you till I cannot be with you no more. I didn't say but until you pass away. I said, I'm gonna be with you until I can't be with you anymore. And on my way back to Fort Lauderdale at 11 o'clock, that's when I got word that my cousin had passed away. So I see some similarities in what's going on with her mom and what went on with her. And she didn't make it past the weekend. She passed away at 11 o'clock that Sunday morning. But I thank God for grace, and I thank God for mercy, and I thank God for the time that He allowed me to spend with her. And spending that time with her, it made me realize just how precious life is. And on Mondays and Fridays, I am on a prayer line. And then this morning on the prayer line, they were talking about expectations and declarations and decrees. And for today, just for today, I declare and I decree that I'm going to be that all God said that I am. I'm going to start my week off believing that everything God promised me, I'm going to receive it. And I declare and decree the way that God see me. That's the way I'm going to see myself, regardless of how other people see me or what other people may think about me. It's not what they think about me; it's what I think about myself, and it's what I know about myself. So my declaration was, and my declaration is, I am going to see me the way that God see me. God said you can do all things through him that's you I can do all things through Christ Jesus that strengthens me. I'm going to believe that. I'm going to believe that there's nothing that I cannot do, because God gave me the strength to do whatever it is that I can do through him, as long as I put him first. Because when you put God first, God being first means God is preparing a way. God has already prepared the way. He's just giving you the directions, and he done orders your steps. And if you just be mindful to walk in the way that God has already ordained you to walk in, the path is already clear. God, talk about God is the way. God, no, God will make a way. God is the way. The way has already been made. All you got to do just walk therefore in. And sometimes we let the outside noise mess with our head and get inside our thoughts. You could be done thought something so clearly and done got it all worked out, and then it don't take but one person to talk against it, that'll change, that'll rearrange everything. That'll change everything. Stop listening to the outside noises and stop running and asking everybody, well, what you think about this, what I should do. Before you go to anybody, get on your knees, get wherever your prayer closet is. If you can get on your knees, get on them. If you can't, sit on the side of the bed, sit on your chair, because God hear your prayer. Whether you're laying, sitting, kneeling, however, if you praying a righteous, sincere prayer to God, he hears it. He hears it. And when you start giving God his word back to him, you say it. And when you're feeling like the world and everybody that's coming against you, and feel like you're falling into all the booby traps and all the ditches and all the land, you're walking on landmines that they done sought for you and stuff like that. You got to take God at his word. God say, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. He said, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And the people who sit in the traps, talking about the people who scheming, the people who talking behind your back, the people that's plotting, God has shut their mouth. All you got to do is just read that top scripture where it said, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. And then read that bottom, read that bottom. Go down a little further. Because God said, I'll shut their mouth up. God said, I shut their mouth up. I make them stop talking. And the same people who talking about you, God will turn that thing all the way around. He said, I'll make your enemies your footstool. He said, I will prepare a table for in the presence of your enemies. And they don't even know how you're doing it. Somebody right now might be going through something. And you know what? And people wonder and people know what's going on, but they don't know, well, how you could get up in the morning, how you could look that good, how you could just keep on going, how you could get up and just put your lipstick on and put your expensive perfume on and walk with your head held up and your shoulders back like ain't nothing going on because of God. Because you put God, when you put God first and you put God in it, I'm gonna tell you, I'm a living witness. I am a living witness. And when God is getting ready, when God wants you to get over a situation and that you done held on for too long, when God wants you to get over that situation, God will stop it just like that. And I'm telling you this because I'm gonna tell you, I didn't go to church Sunday, so the Sunday before last Sunday. Pastor was telling all of us, he was talking about, because here a lot of people been passed away. It started with one of the members in our church. Her husband passed away. Then one of my very bestest friend passed away on vacation on her anniversary. She passed away. Then a man, Mr. Lloyd, he passed away. Now he was the member. He's a member of the church that I left, and he deacon and worked in the finance office. So I was secretary of Sunday school. So we had some interaction, and he was retired from Florida Power and Light. So back in the day, if your lights was getting ready to be turned off, he'll help you out and stuff like that. He was a good man. He was a good man. And then right after it's like, okay, now Tammy passed away. And then maybe 2 weeks after Tammy, Mr. Lloyd passed away. And not even a week after Mr. Lloyd passed away, get a phone call, get a text, my Antoinette dead. What? And it's just like all of this happening. And you see all of this happening. And all of these to me was good people. And these are people, how somebody and love, seem like the whole city, the whole town just love these people. And everybody all of us has 1957 dash and that whatever. We all have that time coming. But when I see people that's so full of life, and then all of a sudden they get sick, and then you hear about them passing away, it was shocking to hear that. It was just shocking to hear it. But anyway, these people lived their life, and it was time. God said, when Jesus was telling his disciples that, he was leaving, and, he's going to prepare a place. In that place that I'm preparing for you, in my Father's house, there are many mansions. So I just said, well, Lord, finished with their mansions, and you just wanted them to come home to see the beauty of what you have done. And I feel like when a person is ill and they overcome that illness, that is and was the will of God. However, when a person has passed away, I believe that God see everything, God know everything. So if there was an illness going on, God saw some complications down the road, and he didn't want his children to go through that pain that he saw that's coming. So before I allow you to continue to go to this pain, I'll call you on home because I don't prepare the place for you, because in my father's house is room for you. It's room for you. So they went on home to glory. And that made me think, and then that I didn't make Tammy funeral, I didn't make the tea party, and it was just I started seeing a lot of things going on in my life. I started seeing things that was going on, and then um young lady called it out what it was because I was telling them what I was feeling. And she said, that's a Lithian spirit. That's a jealous spirit, a rude spirit, a lazy spirit, a spirit of procrastination, a spirit of doubt. None of that is the fruit of the spirit. That wasn't love. That wasn't joy. That wasn't peace. That wasn't long suffering. That wasn't happiness. That forbearance. That wasn't any of that, because God said, I didn't give you any of that. That spirit, what you got now, I didn't give you that spirit. And I began to just watch. I began to watch myself. And the other night, I was it's like I was just eating, 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 eating. And I said, Lord, something has got to give. Something has got to give. I got to talk to the doctor about giving me something, or appetite suppressant or something. I said, I'm just eating for no reason. And then I start thinking about when God got a purpose for you, when God got something for you to do, you're going to get all kind of attacks. Attacks gonna come from the south, the north, the east, and the west. They're gonna come from everywhere. Every corner of the earth seems like you're gonna be attacked by something. And people that you used to think that was for you, you're gonna start seeing how they act differently towards you. You're gonna be seeing, and I start watching me how I was just eating and how my attitude was. And one Sunday, that Sunday, pastor said, uh, because so much was Mr. Lloyd had just passed, and Mr. Lloyd was he was part of the construction crew that helping build our new sanctuary. And he said, talking about how precious life feels, and you got a problem with somebody, get over it. Get over it. You got an issue with somebody, you got beef with somebody, and sometimes you be beefing by yourself, because people don't care about hurting your feelings. They don't care about how your feelings are. They'll come back and say, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, and they keep on doing what they're doing, and to keep right on doing what they're doing. It's up to you to accept. And it's you have a choice. People don't get on your nerve. You allow people to get on your nerves. You allow people to, because you have a choice. You can sit there and get angry, get fire engine red, hot, because of what somebody has said. You have a choice to allow someone to upset you. You have a choice. You can either get upset with it, or you could say, you know what? I see where this is going, and I see who it's coming from. So I know how to behave. So I'm going to walk away from this situation, not for them, but for me, for my sanctity and for my peace. And when I see things on, so Pastor has said, I want everybody to get up and go and hug someone and tell them that you love them. And so I stood there and I said, now, Lord, Pastor, no. Pastor, no. He said, I know, Pastor, no, this is hard for me. The hugging part, and then the telling somebody I love you, because see, I love you is an action word. You don't just tell somebody you love them. You show them that you love them. You treat them. There's a different way that you treat people when you love them, when you really love them, because of who they are. Regardless of what they did, regardless of what they say, because we don't have that type of love like God have for us. God have that agape love. God love us in spite of, regardless of, because of. You know, God don't turn his nose up. Now he'll turn his nose up to the sin that we commit. But because even though the sin that we commit, and even in his chastisement, God still loves us because he don't take us out. He haven't taken us out. And so I say, Lord, Pastor, no, I got a problem with this. Pastor, no, I can't be going around hugging people, talking about I love them. And I'm talking to myself. And the ladies in the choir were saying, come on, you could do it, you could do it. I said, yeah, I know I could do it, but do I want to do it? Do I want to go around hugging people and telling them that I love them? You know, because I want to be honest. I want to be real. I want to be true. I don't just want to use love. We just use the word love and like it's nothing, like it's a raggedy end doll. We just use it any kind of way. So finally, one of my little sisters, she came. She said, "Girl, I love you." I said, "You know, I love you too. I love you too, beautiful." And then I just went around hugging the one, and then I had to stop. I said, how can I say that I love God and I'm picking and choosing who I want to go up and hug and say I love you to? So this lady came up to me and she said, I really love you. I really do love you. But sometimes you just, she said, I just want to just to you sometimes. I said, you know what? I love you too. And I really love you too. And I say, sometimes I want to be to myself sometimes. And then what I was feeling about this lady was tested a couple of days ago. And when I passed that test, I said, Lord, thank you. I don't have that feeling no more. I said, thank you, because I see it for what it is and I see her for who she is. And then I had another situation with this little girl. And I went up to her. I said, oh, you didn't hug me. You didn't tell me that you love me. She said, well, you was hugging somebody else. So I said, I get it. Sometimes we put ourselves in a situation. Sometimes we stop our own blessings. We stop ourselves from moving forward. We stop ourselves from moving forward. So sometimes you have to sit down and examine yourself. You have to sit down and examine yourself to see exactly where you are. And I like writing when I'm on TikTok, when I'm on Instagram. They have these beautiful little quotes, and I have a little book, y'all. This little book is getting full. So I have been thinking about what I'm going to do when this book is full. I'm going to start on another book and I'm going to continue to write till I get enough to see what I can do and make a little pamphlet about uh, affirmations and reinforcing those affirmations and feel good, things just to put your mind at ease. And then one thing that has struck me is a part of emotional maturity is knowing when to leave a toxic environment. Sometimes you surround yourself with toxicity. You could be the toxic person. And you be saying everybody, you can find fault with everybody and everything, but you never know. You just might be the problem. you know, you just may be the problem. And I had to stop and look at that thing and say, well, Lord, am I the problem? Is it me? Is it me? And it just might be. And I saw, I said, you know what? I'm the problem. I'm the problem. I could see everything everybody else doing. I said, I'm the problem. I am the problem. I said, work on me, God. I say, work on me. Work on me. And Lord, please have me to stop looking at how many numbers other people got. Let me stop seeing how many views other people videos getting. Let me stop seeing how many subscribers other people is getting. I say, let me believe what is for me, and it will come to me when it's time for it to come to me. And I then when sometimes you be thinking stuff and something will pop up. I could just be like playing a game on my phone, and they have these advertising, and then I could just be just strolling on YouTube because listening at what they're saying about Donald Trump and what's going on in other parts of the world, and just be strolling and something to come on. Who you were yesterday is your only. Exactly, exactly. So every now and then something to come up and I read it, and I have to, if I'm laying down, I have to get up out the bed and get my tablet and start writing in my tablet. And I read this and I came across this. It said, what's meant for you will always find its way. What's meant for you will always find its way to you. Trust the timing of your life and remember that you don't have to force things. Stay patient, stay grounded, and know that and what's truly yours is already on the way. And I thought about that, and I thought about what evangelist Rita was saying about how she went from speaking to 20 people to 15,000 people, and how she continued to speak to more and more people, speak to go to different churches. She was at Woman Dot Lose. She emceed at Woman Thou Lose. And it was whatever is for you, you don't have to force it. You don't have to force that door open. You don't have to force someone to love you. If a person is showing you who they are, believe them. Believe them. Because what you love, you nurture. You take time for. And if you don't feel like you're being loved and you're being not nurtured, that's not for you. That's not the person for you. And those are not the people for you. And then this one here got me. This one really got me. Make it a habit to talk about the blessings more than the burdens. When you acknowledge the positive in your life, the universe bless you with even more blessings. Close the window that drains you, no matter how captivating the view is. Be disciplined about your inner be disciplined about what you entertain. Where attention goes, energy flows. And I said, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. It said, of make it a habit of talk about your blessings. Talk about how God blessed you. God blessed me to get up this morning and say, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. That's a blessing. So I'm going to talk about the blessings. I'm gonna acknowledge the positive things that's going on in my life, because I got all day to sit down and think. I could think about all the stuff that's not going my way. I could think all about all the negative stuff that's flowing. But I'm not going to talk about the negative aspect. I'm going to talk about the positive and the blessing, because what you speak out there in that atmosphere, the atmosphere take it and then bring it right back to you. So I'm speaking blessings. I'm speaking expectations. I'm speaking hope. I'm speaking increase and understand. I'm speaking all of that. I'm speaking all of that because I want all of that to come back and just overtake me, just flow on me. And just like I say, close the window that drains you no matter how captivating the view is. That means for me, close that door. When you don't see no good coming through it, close that door. Because every time something comes through that door, it is like a thorn in your side. It's always bad news. And then if you got ever noticed, you be around people sometime and they ain't never got nothing good to say. And it's like God ain't never did nothing for them. And then everything look good, and everything that look good ain't always good for you. And I remember when I was in this drug, when I was going through my addiction, and I was going, in the drug program, and was going to meetings, and I went to this church, and this church had a little plaque, and it said, "The grass may be greener on the other side, but don't forget the yard still got to be mowed." You looking at how green that grass is, but you didn't see the work that had to go. It took to get that yard looking the way it looked. So don't be looking at what somebody else got, cause see, you don't know what they had to go through to get it, and you don't know what they're doing to keep it. So if that, just close that door, close that window on things that's draining you. With somebody, every time no matter how good they dressed up, no matter how 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 good they smell, it's always something. Close that window, close that door, regardless of how pretty the view is. Be disciplined about what you entertain. Sitting around talking about, you don't even have to open your mouth. Sitting around listening to negative stuff. Just like I know your grandma done said this. If not your grandma, surely your great grandma or your mama. Because if you lay down with dogs and you gonna get flea, you ain't got near flea on you. But if you lay down with a dog that got fleas, they're gonna fly on you. You gonna get fleas too. Birds of a feather flock together. Well, I just like her. She my friend. She not like that. Honey, close that window, cause she just like that. You don't see it. It don't necessarily have to be a she. He just everything they told you. You see it, but you just say, he not like that. He like that. He like that. And they say in the last part, this what really got me. What the last part said: where your attention goes, your energy flows. So watch when you're around certain people, and you in a certain place, and see how your energy, see what the vibe is, see if your energy, see how your energy is when you're around someone and they leave. Do they energize you, or do they just sap your energy? Are they energy vampires? Do they just sap the life from you? Do you just get tired when you be around them? You get tired of hearing all the negativity, and you be saying, "Well, damn, do they ever have anything good going on in their life?" So where your energy goes, where your attention goes, your energy flows. So watch that. Watch it. Watch, just watch and see what zaps your energy. What drains your energy. And then yesterday, this I saw this one yesterday. It says every morning, and it was like a affirmation that I said, you know what, I'm gonna read this to myself every morning. Every morning I began again. I am enough. I've done enough. It's safe to let go. I focus on what I can control: my choice, my mindset, my inner peace. I am stronger than my challenges. I am worthy of love, joy, and respect. Today, I choose calm. Today, I choose me. Every morning, I begin again. Every morning you wake up, you can make it a, you know what, some days, every month. Okay, this is July the 21st. I say, well, Lord, I say, Lord, it's me again. We get to the end of the month. So I say, Lord, I want to end the month the way I want to begin the next month, if it's your will for me to be in the next month. So I want to end this month, we're in the last uh 2 weeks of July. I'm letting go of what I can't. I wear a necklace. It's and it has the serenity prayer on it. It said, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So the things that I can change, those are things I'm going to change. The things that I do have control over, those are the things that I am going to control. I'm not going to allow anyone to take my joy. I'm not going to allow anyone to take my peace. I'm not going to allow anyone to disturb either one of those. Happiness is predicated on what's happening. I'm happy. I ain't got nothing happening, but I'm still happy. And sometimes I don't even have to have anything happening to be happy. For me, happiness is okay, Lord. I'm a this a, almost 2 weeks. I'm gonna end the month the way I want to begin the new month, and I'm gonna do it all. Do I stumble? Yes. Do I give up? No. I just keep moving and keep going and keep going. Eventually, I'm gonna arrive at the place that God has already predestined for me to be. The way has already been made. It ain't hard. I'm making it hard. I'm making it hard because I've taken my eyes off the prize. I took my eyes off the prize and I start focusing on something else. I start focusing on something else. And once you start focusing with taking your eyes off God and taking your eyes off the prayer, the the promises of God and the prayers and the blessings of God, when you start rearranging your focus, that's when, like, just like I said, where your attention goes, your energy flows. Good morning, Mildred. So yeah, and that thing, what I just read, every morning I begin again. I am enough. I've done enough. I am enough and I've done enough. It's safe to let go now. It's just safe to let it go. I was watching Jaws yesterday. For some reason I just love watching Jaws. Whenever I see it on, and I'll go to over to Tubu, and I could find Jaws 1, 2, and 3, and I watch all three of them. And how that shark never gave up, you know, just have that instinct to just keep going and keep going no matter what. And I say, you know what? That is the way that I am. Just keep going. Don't worry about the troubles of this life, because God told us we were going to have some troubles in this life. And the going through, your attitude determines the outcome of your going through. So every morning I began again, and I am enough. I've done enough. It's safe to let it go. I focus on what I can control. My choices, I can control my choices. My mindset, when I set my mind, I'm not setting my mind to harm, but to help, to encourage. My inner peace, that peace that you have within, even when there's a whole forest fire around you, you're not worried about it, because you have that inner peace to know that I know somebody who could put this fire out. When you feeling all discombobulated and all over the place, all you got to do is just be still. And that calmness that you need, all you just got to do is just be still, focus on what you can control, and put your attention where your attention is needed. So, and put all your energy, because where your attention goes, your energy flows. And keep saying to yourself, I'm stronger than I was yesterday. I'm stronger. You're stronger than the challenges that you're facing. You're stronger than circumstances. You're stronger than the issues that that you're going through right now. You're stronger than that. And you're worthy. Never doubt yourself. Never doubt yourself. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of peace. You're worthy of respect. You're worthy of contentment. You are worthy of every and all good things that God have for you. So today, just for today, I want y'all to choose calmness, choose peace, and most of all, choose yourself. Choose yourself and say to yourself, I can be who God say I can be, and I can do all things that God say that I can do. And before today is over, at some point today, I want you to go on YouTube and Google. I cannot remember what her last name is. Rita, but uh, put evangelist Rita, um, and her name should pop up. Her name should pop up, and I was just listen to inner sermons because right now I'm going to go back and listen to one, and I had started listening to another one. That's what I was doing yesterday, and I'm telling you, that woman ain't nothing but the truth. That woman ain't nothing but the truth. And remember this, you know what a wasp is? A wasp look like a little bee, look like a bee, right? But I also read something. It said a wasp can't do what a bee can. See, there's a bee is very useful. It's useful for its honey. It's useful for pollinating the plants, and you know, uh, evangelist read Rita, Rita, evangelist Rita something. I cannot remember that last name. And I don't know why I want to say Ewing. It may be Ewing and it may not be Ewing, but Rita something. Oh my God. I cannot remember that lady name. However, today is the day. So whatever you've been praying and asking and hoping for from God, today could be the day that your prayer is going to be answered. Don't give up. Don't give out. Get tired. Take a rest and just keep on moving. Let God be who God is. Let God do what God do. And you just stand there and get the glory, the Shekinah glory of God. And it's always, and it's AKA always say, smile. You have a beautiful smile. And if you smile today, be purpose. Do something purposely on purpose. Stand for what you stand for. And here's a reminder. Be aware, but don't be bothered. Learn, sit back, and observe. Never let anyone get you out of character. Not everything in life deserve a reaction. Let a fool do what a fool do. That's it. That's it. That's it right there. Rita Twigs. Rita Twigs. Listen to that lady. Oh, she blessed my soul yesterday. She blessed my soul yesterday. And let's keep AKA. I spoke with her I think last week, and um let's keep her in our prayers. Let's keep each other prayed up and lifted up. So until we meet again, when you see me in the YouTube streets, holler at me. You know I'll holler back. You know how I do. And I just said I was going to come on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but this was just so good this morning. I'm just so glad to be back. I'm just so glad people even wanted me to come back. So I'm glad to be back, and I thank God for his grace, and I thank God for his mercy, and I thank God for each and every one of you. I thank God for you being here, taking the time to come on this morning just to listen to me. And I pray that you be encouraged, and you be encouraging to someone else, and you and be blessed today, and be a blessing to someone else as well, and do it on purpose, purposely. I'm out. Peace, deuces, and I'll holler. And when I holler, y'all holler back. We glad you back, sis, for real. And I'm glad to be back. Thank you. And y'all have just the best blessed day ever. I holler.